What is your favorite game? I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you probably didn't even answer me, but if you did, you probably would have said something like Minecraft, or Fortnite, maybe Terraria, or Among Us, maybe Rocket League, Roblox, Valorant, or even FNAF. And maybe you picked that game because you like its gameplay, or maybe because of nostalgia, maybe because it's fun with friends, or the story is good. And for me, it takes a lot of things to be my favorite, let alone the best. And I think it's pretty obvious from a certain video that I steer more towards story-based games, but every game needs more than just a good story to be good. Luckily, I think I found a game that delivers. I found a game with an excellent story, understandable controls, fun gameplay, great graphics, and an excellent use of ambiance and horror. Keep in mind, it still has a lot of room for improvement. I did not find the best game. I found my favorite game. I found Subnautica. Subnautica is a video game made by Unknown Worlds Entertainment, originally announced back in late 2013 and looked like this. Yeah, and remember when I was trashing on Skylanders graphics? At the time, Unknown Worlds was mainly known for their work on their natural selection games, specifically the second one. The lead director, Charlie Cleveland, talked about being inspired by Minecraft, with its open world, exploration-based, and calm gameplay. Oh, and he also admired its taking over of the world. They wanted an exploration game where you didn't know what you would find, see, or really do next. A year after the initial announcement, the game was released into Steam's early access. The graphics were better by this time, but oh boy. The game also didn't really have a story yet, so it really was just like an underwater Minecraft. And there were a lot of glitches and eventually deleted aspects. Then after about 9 months of updates and bug patches, I found this game. I don't remember how I stumbled across this YouTuber that, also funny enough, would later become my favorite YouTuber for a while.
Oh, it's time to hightail it out of here! Ankle breaker, no film in that.
But after about a month of watching these, I would pretty much forget about the game entirely. Until around a year later, in 2016, I stumbled across the YouTuber 8-Bit Ryan, and basically never stopped watching their Subnautica videos.
Dude, we got loads! We got loads! Oh.
Over time, this game would go through massive updates, gain lots of publicity, go through a few controversies, and get itself a sequel. But how in the world is this my favorite game when games like Pokemon, Wii Sports, and again, Minecraft exist? Well, allow me to show you. Allow me to tell you a story. Your ship has crashed into an alien planet. You are unfamiliar with your surroundings, and it doesn't take you long to realize that you are the only survivor. Subnautica is a survival sandbox type game with a pretty good story behind it. You can freely roam anywhere that the Ghost Leviathan lets you, crafting, killing, building, swimming, and exploring your way to freedom. For the most part though, crafting is pretty easy and does not take very long until the later game, but the things in the later game are meant to be made a very few amount of times, as they are intended to be used for the finale. So like I said, you are dropped into this new unknown world, get it, with nothing but a PDA to accompany you. Of course, the game starts with a few mysteries like, where is everyone else, and how did my ship crash? And if this is your first time playing, then what the hell am I supposed to do? And of course, the answer to all of these questions being no. The beginning is pretty standard for a survival game. I mean, here's what you do. Jump into the ocean, punch some weak-ass rocks, mess around with their fire extinguisher, go back up for oxygen, catch some fish, pick some mushrooms, go back up for oxygen, cook your fish, make a scanner, scan like 30 things, go back up for oxygen, eat your fish, grab some leaves, get the crap scared out of you by a slightly bigger fish, almost die, go back up for oxygen, drink some fish guts, make an O2 tank, get way more titanium than you need, go back up for oxygen, find a living bomb, get terrified at night, and last but not least, go back for oxygen. See, this is the ideal first day. But of course, it doesn't take long for you to realize that the following days will not be as simple. This is something that will come up a lot, and I mean a lot. But one thing this game excels at, beyond any other game I've seen, is its use of terror. It is very likely that you will not encounter a life-threatening creature on your first day, just a few slightly dangerous ones. But it is very likely that you will hear the roars of a certain Leviathan on that first day. It makes you want to stay away. The player very quickly learns where not to go, and this includes the Void. The Void is the section of the map where there is no map. This is where the playable boundaries end. But they can't just put a wall there. In fact, they tried that, but it's unrealistic, so they got rid of it. Their solution? Ghost Leviathans. They put these huge, glowing, eel-like Leviathans and their screeching selves around the border to keep you away. Your sea moth will not survive there, your prawn suit will not survive here, and your almighty Cyclops will maybe survive there, but probably not. Which brings me to the vehicles. Honestly, my only main critique about these is that the prawn suit is a bit too indestructible, but hey, I like swinging around on that rope, so I'm fine with it. And the Cyclops serves its purpose very well, but why the hell is C down? Speaking of things you can build, you can also make homes. There are some annoying limits when it comes to buildings, but then again, people have been able to make stuff like this, so whatever. There are so many unique and fun ways to customize your house. Observer room? Sure. Scanner room? Sure. Submarine drones? Sure. Aquarium that you can enter, put creatures in, and connect to multiple floors? Hell yes. Of course, the only downside to this being the ungodly amount of resources needed to accomplish this. Along with the spaceship at the end. I mean, holy shit! All of the biomes have their own feel and atmosphere to them, and friendly creatures. And the final thing I want to mention about the gameplay is the no killing style it has. I mean, you can kill everything, but the game tries its hardest to keep the killing at a minimum. The creatures are made terrifying to keep you on your toes and keep you running away from them, not to them. Along with the fact that they take forever to kill, it makes them feel indestructible and makes you feel weak, and makes you feel like you're their prey. By the way, although this game, mainly its sequel, has amazing graphics, the loading, render distance, and AI do need some work. For its genre, Subnautica has excellent gameplay, and it is improved with its use of horror, environment, and story. And speaking of story, at this point, does anyone question whether or not this game has a good story? I mean, I would kill for a Subnautica movie. Allow me to give you a rundown of the story. You are on the Aurora spaceship with a large crew sent by the space agency Altera. The mission of the ship is to find and recover the Degassi ship and its crew. But of course, your ship gets blown up after entering the crash site / planet 4546B. And you are the only survivor. You gather resources to build tools and vehicles to advance into new territories, learning about the Degassi and the thing that shot down your ship, the gun, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. It was built by a super intelligent alien race called the Precursors. Oh yeah, your only method of escape kind of blows up and spreads deadly radiation across the world, but we don't need to cover that right now. Over the course of the game, you find other destroyed life pods scattered across the playable area. Some crashed into rocks, some were attacked by leviathans, and some just had faulty safety systems. The light at what looked like the end of the tunnel, the sunbeam, had come to save... Yeah, we didn't need it anyway. Why don't we just explore the ship instead? Whilst exploring the ship, you come across a lot of new tech, hello friend, and a lot of new plot, learning about the crew and mission, along with some amazing scenery, but that's for the next part. Then you make your way to the depths, the Grand Reef, the Blood Kelp Zone, that one terrifying place, and then the Lost River. This is where we learn how the disease Kara spread throughout the planet. You see this place? Yeah, well, those precursors tried studying an infected animal, and then it escaped. Anyways, you continue through the Lost River, finding structures, creatures, skeletons. What the fuck? 3 million years old? 1,300 meters long. That's like a mile. This thing could eat a ghost leviathan for breakfast. Then, oh, well, that's actually pretty cool. We head on down to the hot plate. Excuse me, what does that say? I'll be honest, the Reaper sounds the scariest. The Ghost Leviathan is massive and glows like a creep. But my god, the Sea Dragon is just... I wanna die. Finally, after all this time, we enter this underground base and open up the portal gates to various locations. How about we place this tablet down, enter this room, and... well, there's only one place to go. This is where we meet another person, kind of. Say hello to the Sea Emperor Leviathan, who was portrayed as in the trailers, but we end up having a lovely talk about aliens, people, death, disease, and animal abuse. Fun. The precursors hurt this creature, attempting to force it to give them something. The cure to the Kara. In Subnautica, this disease has apparently killed... okay, trillions. You know, maybe we can thank the Kara for why we haven't found aliens in real life. Anyways, yeah, the Sea Emperor Leviathan can create a cure for this disease. Actually, only the children can. Mother? No, sir, not the mother. Shut the... Bada bing, bada boom, we made the hatching enzyme, used the cure, disabled that gun thingy, and now it's time to spend hours gathering resources to make a big rock and blast off into space. Also, can I just say I love the two ending statements from the Sea Emperor? I will leave a link to a video of them in the description if you want to see them. They're just really good. So, what? Why is this story good? Well, one, it builds up in a subtle way with the PDA entries, the translated downloads, and through what the Sea Emperor was saying. There is one room in this game that is perfect for showing how this game tells its story without words. You can piece together everything about the warpers in this one room. Why it was made, how it was made, the mere fact that they were made by aliens in the first place. The way the Emperor's story connects is incredible. I also really respect how a lot of stuff is left unanswered. Who are the precursors? What was Altera initially doing around 4546B? And why the hell is this thing so huge? Its individual bones are bigger than the Ghost Leviathan. Okay, anyways. There are also themes about gun violence and other things like that, which I do not believe I'm very qualified to talk about, so the baseline story itself is actually not that terribly unique. You crash, you explore, ooh, disease, ooh, aliens, reefers, boom, bam, bing, cure, you're off. That's it. But the way it unfolds and connects into other storylines, like the Emperor's past and whatever the hell happened on Abraxas Prime, it's just amazing, and I wish more games were like this. But now, it's time for what is easily this game's most impressive and amazing aspect. Wait. Before that, let's talk about a slightly less terrifying type of ambiance. The music. The music in Subnautica is, without question, some of the catchiest and most fitting and just downright incredible music. The music just works. Most of it is either futuristic and techno, or it's a choir making it feel majestic and unknown. Although, no aspect of this game is without its flaws. Unknown Worlds, Simon Chalinsky, whoever I should blame for this. Why did you make the alarm for the Cyclops? Specifically the alarm for when it's about to blow up? Why did you make the alarm easily the catchiest piece of music in this game? I feel like the alarm could have been a more bombastic, sort of worrying version of, say, First Immersion. I don't know, it's just... Abandoned Ship sounds really good as the credits, and is a bit distracting as an alarm. Also, I just wanted to add this in while editing. The soundtrack named Cuttlefish is one of the loudest and fastest pieces of music in the whole soundtrack, and I just kind of found that really funny, so... Anyways, continue. Since Skylanders was kind of like the last soundtrack I ever talked about, I want to compare the music there to the music here. Right off the bat, Subnautica is much better at keeping a theme. Every song is connected in a way, and although Skylanders had higher highs than Subnautica, it also had lower lows, making Subnautica's soundtrack, in my opinion, quite a bit better. but I'll never forget you, Cutthroat Carnival. But yeah, it goes without question that Subnautica's music is often its second most praised element, right behind its horror. I'm going to start off this section with an example, right out of the gate. Remember earlier in the video when I referred to the deep Grand Reef as that one terrifying place? Well, the noises and music in this area is terrifying. That is why I called it that one terrifying place. All thanks to the crab squid. Just listen. Add these to the fact that this biome is foggy and full of lots of big fauna, and you've got yourself one scary biome. The environment, the lighting, the coloring, the animals, all set the tone. And once you head on over to the Degassi base, a crab squid. This is easily the most terrifying thing in this game. Okay, maybe not easily, but this is... The leviathans might be horrifying, but the crab squid is terrifying. Also, it's massive. You don't really think about it when it's far away, but... Good God, it's terrifying. The surface is full of crash ships. Alright, I'll be honest, I don't even know how I made that mistake. The safe shallows have simple, calming music with peaceful, small creatures, and the scariest things are honestly the crash fish and the noises the gasopod makes. Honestly, the only thing even scary about these two are the fact that you never even know where those goddamn crash fish are coming from. Also the gasopods. I mean, yeah, you get used to them, but then we get into the good stuff. The kelp forest is home. The kelp forest is home to the stalkers. The name alone is perfect. They stalk around the kelp vines, and you can barely see them half the time. 1 minute you're gathering vines, and the next. This biome and creature are a pretty beautiful blend of terror. Next, let's move to the grassy plateaus. It is a very large biome that kind of resembles a canyon on Earth. The perfect biome for holy. Do not even try to convince me that you were not terrified of the reefbacks when you first saw them. They are these massive, strange looking and loud creatures swimming at the surface of this canyon. When you enter this biome, you just hear them in the distance without any idea of where it's coming from. The jelly shroom caves are great, especially when you first discover it. I really wish I could re-experience my first. At night, the two scariest places are easily the underwater islands because it looks like the void when you try and leave the islands. And the mushroom forest. This place is located next to the crash ship, and at night, it looks like this. Now take this, and add a Reaper Leviathan screaming in the background, and it is scary as hell. Speaking of the ship, it is a lot of fun. The ship's interior is really cool, but the entrance is where it shines. Look at that. The fire, the broken lights, and the pipes are all responsible for the awesome lighting in the ship. But it's the shaking of the ship that makes it so great. The sound, the dust falling from the ceiling, everything makes the ship so much cooler. My only slight problem is with its generator room thingy. It's massive, but the way it's designed doesn't actually make sense without the water there. But I would be fine not thinking about that if they just added one thing. This huge room would be perfect for some small Leviathan. Imagine if all of those broken parts of the reactor were above the water, except for one, causing you to have to jump into the water and avoid this creepy Leviathan and repair it. What would it look like? I don't know, this. The Grand Reef is goddamn gorgeous. The colors, the creatures, and these bald thingies are so cool. The blood kelp forest looks amazing and is also very terrifying at night. And the crab squid does not help. Next, the Lost River. Everything from the structures, to the creatures, to the skeletons, to the lighting, to the fauna, everything is just so cool. The Ghost Leviathan terrifies you, the plants light up the place, and the skeletons make the Reaper look like a child. And I mean, I've already talked about how great this place looks. The creatures were also an excellent choice, and the music is pretty good. But now, let's get to my favorite. the lava zone, home to my second favorite creature, the sea dragon. Number 1 is Reefback, by the way. Everything in this biome is simply amazing. The coloring and lighting works wonders. The creatures all look like they belong here, not to mention how terrifying they are. The lava castle is awesome, the lava geysers are awesome, the lava falls, the containment facility, the Reaper Leviathan skeleton implying the sea dragons are powerful enough to swim past the ghost leviathans and catch a Reaper for breakfast. Awesome! I actually found out that this biome isn't even as big as it seems. I mean, it looks massive. Well, you can thank the fogging, the sea dragons, and the echoes for that. I mean, tell me that this is not terrifying! It's crazy that all it takes is this barely noticeable echo to make this place seem huge. Well, then the sea dragon. The sea dragon has such an awesome design, such a cool roar, and what else? It can breathe fire! Okay, it's just awesome. Please play the game. You've made it this far into the video, so believe me when I say you will not be disappointed. The containment facility is the end game. The robots, portals, lights, the distant sea dragons all add to the ambiance here. The jump from deadly lava place to a calming aquarium is strange but nice. I guess you could say that it's
a surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
The Sea Emperor, although massive and would normally be terrifying when it comes to this game, it's actually very gentle looking and calming. It only takes a few seconds to realize.
I like this one.
Although it doesn't make much sense, I do really enjoy the fact that there are hostile creatures here that do not attack. They're peaceful. Then we hatch the eggs. By the way, the eggs are actually like as tall as our character, and I was very confused when I found that out. Actually, I learned that all the sizes were like really altered to make them appear normal size. Like, look at the crash fish is the size of our head. Anyways, we hatch the eggs, and in the words of younger me,
they're so cute!
And now, for the third time in this video, we leave the planet. The build-up is intense, and it's intentional. The elevator rises slowly, all the startup animations take a little while, and the character, at the final button press animation, the character hesitates, as if they want to stay. Why leave behind the creatures you've met, the buildings you made, and the biomes you've explored?
Launching.
Subnautica's ambiance, its terror, its environment, its creatures, its everything is incredible. I have never found any other game that matches or even comes near to matching the awesome ambiance that Subnautica has. Well, unless below zero counts. Although I love Subnautica's story, there are a lot of unanswered questions in the original. Where did the Kara come from? What is Alterra? What was the Degassi's actual original mission? What the hell happened on Braxis Prime? And what does the rest of the planet look like? These are all normal questions, but there are two other big questions. What did Alterra do after the events of Subnautica? And who are the precursors? Now, I'm confident saying that Riley Robinson, our original character in the first game, made it back to Earth. I say this because I doubt Alterra would attempt another landing on this planet, knowing that both of their ships that they sent there went missing. But when Riley returns, he would inform them that the gun is disabled and it would be fine and everything. So there you go. There's one easy piece of information we can gather, and I hope that when I revisit this game, more is answered about Alterra. It's pretty interesting. However, the second question, who are the precursors, gets on my nerve when it comes to this game. Now, don't get me wrong. What I'm about to say will make it sound like I dislike this game. I don't. In fact, in a lot of ways, this game is better than the original. The graphics and loading are improved greatly. The creatures are crazy cool, although the Chalice rate is a bit disappointing. It looks and sounds incredible, but it's AI. The Shadow Leviathan, terrifying. Rock Punchers, really cool. Snow Stalkers, love them. Squid Sharks, Spinnerfish, Glow Whales, Ice Worms, awesome. The Ice Worm is such a genius creature with a well-working AI behind it. Makes you scared on the land, which never even happened in the original. I mean, these comments on the sequel's trailers just sum up my feelings perfectly. Oh, and in this third comment, if you're wondering what happens at 52 seconds, yeah. I love that the safe shells in this game are a rejected concept from the first. The Kelp Forest, still cool. Crystal Caves, epic. All of these biomes that you see on screen, awesome. Although the purple vents biome doesn't really fit well with these other biomes, man, I'm just hating on the Chilicerate stuff. I want to talk about this so much more, but goddamn, this video is already far too long, and I barely even covered like 60% of the first game, so let's move on. But despite everything I've said, sure, this game is great, but the story, one of the best aspects of the last game that I sure may have not covered too much of. Below Zero answers some questions that honestly were better unanswered. As cool as it is that other humans are in the game, namely Margaret, they are at their best when they're on calls in the corner of the screen or in pre-recorded, downloaded dialogue. And it is cool that Margaret was referenced in the last game and now comes back here, but when it comes to everything I know about her story so far, I just don't care enough. But her base is cool, the tamed Snow Stalker is great, that prawn suit looks awesome, so I guess I'll give this one a pass. Hi, this is actually like 1 week later me. Let me explain something. My original script was just me complaining at some aspects of the story. Things like the precursors, the technology, all this stupid stuff that didn't really make sense. But since then, I have learned a lot more about this game. Until a few days ago, my eyes had not looked at a Subnautica Below Zero video since the last time I uploaded one. But now I've learned some more and can adjust my opinions a bit. I do like the change of having the game revolve more around the story than the last game, but sometimes it does feel like it's too story heavy. The intro is still good, but so much has changed because of that, I can't even keep up with this stuff. Oh, yes, let's talk about all this stuff that has changed. The story has been changed so much, and I get that it's in early access, but my god, the voice lines, the dialogue, every time they change voice actors, it feels more and more wrong. Robin's personality and goals have also gotten worse. This new Robin isn't the Robin we used to have. Is it more polished? Yes. Does it feel right? Not at all, really. And now, back to the precursors. The precursors. First off, you're telling me that humans have, according to the first game, colonized all of the Milky Way, and yet Robin talking to Alan is this revolutionary encounter? This skeleton? Yeah, no, this feels like a punch in the face now. It's a bit better than it used to be, just a skeleton in the middle of this biome, but it feels wrong to see the skeleton have the species. The not hearing, seeing, or understanding the species made them such a cool topic in the first game. This is where my rewrite comes in, mostly. What did I change about the script? Well, I'll be honest. I used to despise Alan. He was a bland alien thing. I basically hated him for the same reason everyone hates Schneider's Superman. This character should not act like an all-knowing god. But since then, they made Robin less tolerable and added an actual character to Alan. He is curious. He wants to learn. He's like, yes, humans are exactly 76.438% less efficient than me. No. He wants to learn about why humans are the way they are. Although the species does canonically know about humans, getting to know an individual should be a very interesting situation for the both of them. And they've improved that through Alan. So yeah, that's my improved opinion. There's a few more things I could have covered, like the cool new Void Chilicerate, the Siege Rock editions, and a lot of more lore stuff. But just in case, I've tried to turn a blind eye to most of the lore, and who knows, maybe literally everything I've said so far will change drastically. Maybe Alan will go back to being a terribly executed bad idea. Margaret will go back to being and Robin will go back to looking for Jeff off.
No sign of Jeffries.
But remember, Below Zero is really, really good. The story could just use some improvement. What can be said other than Subnautica is awesome. Well, actually a lot. There is so much in both games that I didn't cover, mainly the second one because it's unfinished, but even the original wasn't even near fully explored. In fact, while researching this video, I've gotten 3 other video ideas exploring stuff I wasn't able to cover here. I've also left links in the description that cover topics I either couldn't cover or didn't cover enough of. But I did try to cover as much as I could, and I tried to cover all the important stuff. And I hope that this video shows you how good Subnautica really is. And maybe after all this, you still wouldn't like it. And that's fair. You have your preferences, and so do I.
Hell, across this video I've made it very clear that this is my favorite game, not the best game. That title probably belongs to something like Minecraft, which I also want to actually make a video about.
But until then, what can you take away from this video? Well, Subnautica is terrifying, beautiful, and a lot of fun. But the biggest, most important thing in this video? Well, same as the Skylanders video, this music slaps!